I'm Dr. Marie Fang. Welcome to my video series featuring quick tips and tools to help you be your best self today. Today we're going to talk about the question, what is cognitive dissonance and what do we do about it when we experience cognitive dissonance? So the first question, what is cognitive dissonance? It happens to all of us, and it's just a matter of naming exactly what this thing is. We talk about it a lot as therapists. At its core, cognitive dissonance is when we have a core belief about ourselves or maybe a core belief about the world, and then that core belief is presented with some evidence that goes against that core belief, and then we have this internal tension in reaction to this kind of evidence that goes against what we believe. So here's an example. It could be maybe you have a core belief about yourself that you're a super helpful person. No matter what, if someone's in need of help, if you can offer them help, you're going to show up and you're there and they're going to go, oh, that was so helpful, Marie. You're so helpful. I appreciate that. This could be a core belief that any of us might have about ourselves. But meanwhile, maybe you show up at work, there's a new technology, and your coworker comes along and says, Marie, I'm having trouble figuring out how to use this new technology. Can you help me? And you say, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. I can't help you. Here's a moment where you're presented with some evidence that goes against your core belief that you're a helpful person. Here's the thing that happens when we're presented with that evidence. We have this internal tension that goes, uh-oh, I thought I was a helpful person, but this evidence makes it look like I'm not. Ugh, I don't like how that feels. That's the cognitive dissonance. And how we typically respond by default is to try to rationalize away that evidence, to say, oh, that evidence doesn't really count. So we might say, well, I couldn't be helpful to this person because I was just so busy, or this person is really after my job. They don't actually need my help, so I'm actually helping them by not helping them with this thing. Or you could find any number of ways to sort of rationalize it away, to sort of discount that as real evidence so we can hold on to our precious core belief. So I'm still a helpful person. That moment of evidence isn't real evidence against that. The problem is, oftentimes we can sort of sustain some really unrealistic perceptions of ourselves when we're presented with that cognitive dissonance and we sort of push it away or discount it. So instead, what can be helpful is when we're presented with evidence that goes against one of our core beliefs, to simply explore it with a perspective of being curious. Say, that's really interesting. I've always thought of myself as a helpful person. Here's this moment where I didn't help this person when they asked for it. I wonder what might have been going on there. And then we don't have to look at it with judgment. We don't need to go the other extreme and say, I must be a super unhelpful and terrible person, because that's probably not based on the evidence either. But to say, there must have been something happening there to explain this based in reality. I don't need to rationalize it away. But maybe in this scenario, you know what, I have some insecurities about how stable I am in my job, what my job security is. And here this person is great at everything, but they needed some help with this technology. And I was afraid if I offered them that help, maybe they'd get that promotion that I'm after, and I don't want to give that to them. So I wasn't helpful to them in that moment. But that doesn't mean I'm an unhelpful person all the time. And that's a helpful data point to know about ourselves as well. If we start to collect lots of data points that challenge some of our core beliefs, it could be a good time to check in with someone you trust, a therapist, a loved one, a mentor, to sort of see how that checks out with them. Like, man, I've always thought of myself as this kind of a person, but these scenarios keep happening and I'm not really sure how to make sense of that. Can you help me with that? And hopefully someone who's safe and trustworthy can help guide you. And that's where really the core of even therapy work tends to happen, to say, oh, you're wanting to be this kind of person, but a lot of these things don't quite match up. What would you like to do about that? We might need to make some changes. Well, I hope you found this quick tip helpful. Until next time, I'm Dr. Marie Fang, and I hope you have a great day.